This is going to be one of the most bittersweet sequels that we will never forget in world history. Well, anyway, hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1987. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, for the very first time in my whole entire life, I'm going to do my very short movie review. And this review I'm going to do is a very short movie. And it's only for 15 minutes and something seconds. And yes, it did world premiere on Red Nose Day special, but they only cut up some parts off here and there. But I'd rather see the whole entire thing. You know, the whole entire 15 minutes and something seconds. So please check out this really cool special of this short movie that I really want to do for today as a review. So, for my very first short movie review I'm going to do for today is Love Actually 2. Red Nose Day, actually. I'd rather call it Love Actually 2 because it's a lot more shorter and maybe a way better title than the long version itself. Well, if you know what I mean. So anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, here's my very short movie review of Love Actually 2. So, let's head on to the main plot of the story. I don't have anything to say about the main plot of the story without spoiling it. It took place 14 years later after the events of the first Love Actually movie. We're finally going to get to know how our characters are doing, how much they grew up, they change, and how they continue on with their lives and all that stuff. Some of them did change, some of them remain the same, some of them have different lives, and there's only one character who did not change at all because he still remains as the same dude that we all known and loved. But I will say for this character, he's kinda decent, but he's the most pointless one out of all of them, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's my whole entire plot of Love Actually 2. So I guess everybody wants to know is what the heck do I think about the sequel of Love Actually 2, Red Nose Day, actually. Well, to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, I freaking love it. I will say this sequel is 10 times better than the original. I think that director dude, Richard Curtis, I got his first name right, but it's hard to pronounce his last name. I think he did a much better job with this sequel. And I think he's one of the best directors and screenwriters out there who knows how to make a good movie, even if it's a short one. And he did this film just right. I mean, I praise this sequel very much. It's a lot funnier than the first one. I think the storyline is truly much better than the first one. And also, the most important thing I love about this sequel is it's rated PG-13. I think it's better to see this movie as a rated PG-13 film. I was so darn blown away with this sequel. Even for 15 minutes and some seconds. This is a great sequel to watch. You gotta check out this sequel. See it right now, ladies and dudes. This will be mind-blowing. So, I will say, for this sequel, I do enjoy the storyline. The characters are a lot more likable than before. It has great funny moments. I'm glad they brought back the original cast, plus the new ones. The score is still there. The cinematography is good. And this is one of the best sequels where the characters are very well fleshed out and well developed. That I do praise this sequel so darn much. But sadly, it's kind of bittersweet because there's two actors missing in this sequel. I wish they were there if one of them did not pass away. If you know what I mean. Sadly to say. So anyway, let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points of Love Actually to the Red-Nosed Day, actually. I will say for the strongest points for this sequel is finding a way to flesh out the characters and make them very well developed. You know, the character development and chemistry for all the characters that we all know and love. I think that Richard Curtis guy did a really good job of finding a way to get these characters to be fleshed out and well developed. And he did a great job with everybody. Every single one of the characters, even one character who still remains the same as usual. He may be decent, but his storyline went pointless. Oh yeah, there's a lot of good, interesting characters to choose from who got fleshed out and well developed the most. I will say the ones who are fleshed out, well developed the most is the British dude who married this woman who was trying to speak English, and she did a good job on it. I do like Hugh Grant's character. He's got fleshed out, well developed pretty well. Being the prime minister, and he finally married the girl of his dreams. That's good news. Who else? Oh yeah, that Mr. Cube Car Man. I'm glad he's pretty well fleshed out, well developed, and he checked out his former girlfriend. You know, get to know how she's doing with her husband. I'm not gonna spoil what happened to him, you know, about his later on life. But I think the best two characters who are very fleshed out, well developed the most is definitely the old gray and mighty Liam Neeson and this Thomas guy dude who, you know, played the stepfather and stepson. I think they were the best characters out there who were very fleshed out and well developed the most. This is a good sequel to watch. And I'm very happy to see all the characters back, even if it's a short sequel. So all I could say about the strongest points of this short sequel is we are finally getting some characters who are very fleshed out and well developed. Thank you, Richard Curtis, for making a good sequel a good sequel where we can finally see our characters again and seeing them grow after 14 long years had passed, during the original. So yeah, that's my strongest points for this short sequel, but sadly my most weakest point for this sequel is it's a really sad shame that we never get to see Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman to be in this short sequel. It's just a sad shame. Yeah, Emma Thompson did say something on the news that she's not going to be there for the sequel because it's not going to be the same with Alan Rickman. And since we already know that Alan Rickman have passed away, and it's such a sad shame. Definitely the most heartbroken thing ever in world history. But I was thinking to myself like a couple of days ago, what will happen if Emma Thompson was there in Love Actually too? I would like to see her reunite with Hugh Grant, and since if you remember the movie very carefully, there was one screen time of Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant, reunited for the very first time after Sense and Sensibility. It's the scene where they are backstage and they had a nice warm hug. It says they play brother and sister in the movie. Get to know how they're doing and all that stuff. Well, if that Richard Curtis ever changes his mind and try to refix the story a little bit, I would like to see a character development and chemistry between Emma Thompson and Hugh Grant. It'll be nice if he should have added a scene between those two, and maybe we can have another Sense and Sensibility reunion, since they did work together in that film a while back. So yeah, maybe he should have thought about that part. So yeah, my most weakest point ever is, since Alan Rickman is gone, he's not there for the sequel, and Emma Thompson is not there for the sequel at all. So that's one bittersweet weak point that we will never forget in world history. Now let's go on to the characters. I will stay with the two characters that I love the best that came from the first Love Actually movie. First, we got the Prime Minister, played by Hugh Grant. I will say Hugh Grant did a really good job playing the Prime Minister. He's still a memorable character even to this day. Even the part where he's dancing some areas here and there at his house. And it was pretty darn funny to see him falling down and hurt himself. So that means he lost his will to dance, but he did not lose his will to make some good epic speeches here and there. So Hugh Grant is a good actor, and he did play a cool character overall. And the other two characters I fell in love with is the old gray my Liam Neeson and this Thomas dude who played Daniel and Sam. They did a pretty good job, and they still nail their characters even to this day. I will say that Daniel and Sam's storyline is truly the best one out of all of them, because their storyline is pretty darn heartwarming. It's pretty darn touching. I love their relationship between stepfather and stepson, and they have fantastic character development and chemistry. So I think those two actors are truly the main hearts for both the original and the sequel. And I do praise the old great and mighty Liam Neeson to come back and reprise one of the best characters that he ever did from one of his previous films. And overall, this is his sixth time. His sixth time to do another character again that we all know and love for so many years. Yeah, he did reprise his roles the most. I think he's breaking a record, if you know what I mean. He did reprise his role as Aslan. Yeah, Aslan, Qui-Gon Jinn, Zeus, Ra's al Ghul, and our dear beloved Brian Mills. And for the sixth time, he's going to reprise his role as Daniel. God bless that Irish man. Yep. I have nothing else to say, so I'll go ahead and tell you about my final thoughts of the very short movie sequel of Love Actually 2. Red Nose Day, actually. But I'd rather call it Love Actually 2. Overall, Love Actually 2 is truly the much better sequel than the first one. But yet, it's a very bittersweet one. I will say it had a good storyline, has great characters. I'm glad they're very well fleshed out and well developed. It has good comedy, great drama, and some heartwarming moments, some touching moments, It's a good sequel overall. Just check it out on some type of website in mbc.com. Just check out the sequel and you'll know this is one of the best mind-blowing sequels that you will never forget in world history. So I decided to give Love Actually 2 a 9 out of 10. This is a good sequel to watch. And I'm happy I saw this twice today on, online. Hard for me to say. So anyway, that's my whole entire short movie review of Love Actually 2. I'd rather call it Love Actually 2. So tell me, ladies and dudes, what do you think about this brand new sequel for Love Actually? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think it's pretty decent? and tell me which movie that you want to see so badly that you're dying to see if they'll ever make a sequel or not, or which movie that should deserve a sequel the most, I guess. Hard for me to say. Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time for my next videos to come. I don't know which one it is yet, but let's wait and see what happens. So, I'll see you guys later. Sayonara, and most of all, happy Memorial Day.